for all of us. But if we have a kind of signposting, we'll start to recognize them. But bearing in mind we talked about non-aspiring, we're not trying to get somewhere by doing these 16 stages. And I think that'll become a bit more clear today when we look at the mental attitude of trust, and we also work with a bit more space today to allow this unfolding to happen. So if I could invite you to mute yourselves and stop your video, and then just settle into your space. And
Paul, could I just ask how long this session is? I thought it was half an hour.
It is, yeah.
No, it is. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll listen.
I'm muting.
Great, thank you. So just say a couple of words about the mental attitude of trust, which is going to be the main attitude that I'm going to encourage throughout this session. So from John Kabat-Zinn in the book, which is the MBSR Bible, Full Catastrophe Living, he says that developing a basic trust in yourself and your feelings is an integral part of meditation training. It's far better to trust in your intuition and your own authority, even if you make some, in inverted commas, mistakes along the way, than always to look outside yourself for guidance. So he goes on to say that, if we're just following someone's instructions all the time, we're not necessarily doing ourselves favors. It's important to do, to get the kind of shape of meditations and to practice. But he goes on to say it's impossible to become like somebody else. Your only hope is to become more fully yourself. That is the reason for practicing meditation in the first place. Teachers, books, CDs, and apps can only be guides and offer signposts and suggestions. It's important to be open and receptive to what you can learn from other sources, but ultimately you still have to live your own life every moment of it. And in practicing mindfulness, you are practicing taking responsibility for being yourself and learning to listen to and trust your own being. So what we're going to do today is really simple process. It's a two-part process. And I'm going to invite you, first of all, to do what we've done week in, week out, is to ground yourself in the present moment using, first of all, your natural breathing process, and then embodying that. And that will then enable you to reach a level of concentration and calm. Now, I've said often that if that's all you are looking for, that's fine, and you can remain with this calm abiding or shamatha part of the practice as long as you wish, and you can always return to it during the what we're going to do during the session. But at some point, and I'll come back in and invite you to do this, I'll invite you to open up your awareness to whatever arises. Okay, so we're actually changing our focus of attention from the breath to anything that comes into your mind space. And you don't go looking for these things, but if something comes up that's strong, you focus on that. And what you find then, and it's the most important part of this practice, is that everything arises and then abides and then fades away. So we're trying to experience directly the truth of impermanence of everything. Okay, so we just do this at our own speed, in our own way, and just be curious about your experience and trust in your experience. So the first stage is just to settle back and ground yourself. adopting whatever posture is most effective for you. And then throughout the whole meditation, we'll be relying on the natural process of breathing in and breathing out, the conscious breathing. And sometimes, as it is at the beginning, this will be in the foreground. And others, especially when we get to part 2, it drops into the background, but it never goes away. And often people like to feel that it's alongside us for the whole journey. So it's making us fully aware of the breathing. So I'll just leave you to kind of work with your own process of calming yourself using the breath and the body to establish this state of concentration and calm. So trusting the natural process as the meditation unfolds and deepens, all the time maintaining a sense of groundedness, following the breath. As we deepen, allowing the breath to go where the breath naturally goes in the body. So before we move into the second stage of open awareness, there's a natural doorway that we can choose to work with, and that's looking where the breath is most prominent in your body at this moment in time. That may be the tip of the nostrils, or the chest, or the abdomen. I make a conscious choice at this stage just to pay attention to that place, the breathing in and breathing out, and keeping at that place for the next few minutes. And just breathing in, breathing out, and following the whole process of the in-breath and the out-breath. So the beginning of the breath, moving along the breath to the end of the breath. There may be a gap. So we can follow the whole cycle of the breath, of each and every breath. The in-breath naturally comes along, travels all the way to the end, maybe a short gap before the out-breath. Then resting in the gap before the next in-breath naturally comes along. Maybe just noticing how each and every breath is distinct and different. Maybe the quality of the breath, the length of the breath. But every single breath that we breathe is unique and impermanent. It's born, it abides, and then it dies. replaced by another breath and another breath. So this truth of impermanence, of change, can be observed in any part of this practice. It can be breath, feelings, thoughts. So at this stage we can open up our awareness, the second part of the condensed practice. And now we open our awareness to whatever arises. We don't look for these things, but if something is strong, then we become present to it. We focus on it till it disappears again. So we're just sitting without an agenda, with this panoramic awareness, with no motive, no direction, just sitting, letting whatever turns up. It could be sounds, it could be sensations, feelings, moods, images, mind states, plans, memories, whatever comes up, and we receive and be with it till it disappears again. And all the while just breathing in and breathing out. So giving everything your full mindful attention, and see clearly how they rise and fade away. And at any time we can return to just the breath in the body, calming ourselves, grounding ourselves, staying for as long as we like, maybe a few breaths and then returning to the open awareness, or staying there for the rest of the session. It's entirely up to you. But being awake to your own experience, guided by your own intuition. So with a steady mind, we're just sitting here and experiencing everything just as it is, free of concepts and ideas. Everything's welcome. We're just learning to open our heart to ourselves, allowing ourselves to be ourselves. So bring your breath now back into the foreground, bringing all your attention to breathing in, breathing out. So I'd like to bring the session to a close by sharing a poem. And just allow yourself just be fully present to the poem, just to the feeling that it brings, not getting hung up on any individual words, just the flavour. It's a poem by Lama Gendan Rinpoche called Happiness. Happiness cannot be found through great effort and willpower, but is already here, right now, in relaxation and letting go. Don't strain yourself, there is nothing to do. Whatever arises in the mind has no importance at all, because it has no reality whatsoever. Don't become attached to it. Don't pass judgment. Let the game happen on its own, emerging and falling back without changing anything. And all will vanish and begin anew, without end. Only our searching for happiness prevents us from seeing it. It's like a rainbow which you run after without ever catching it. Although it does not exist, it has always been there and accompanies you every instant. Don't believe in the reality of good and bad experiences. They are like rainbows. Wanting to grasp the ungraspable, you exhaust yourself in vain. As soon as you relax this grasping, there is space, open, inviting and comfortable. So make use of it. Everything is already yours. Search no more. Don't go into the inextricable jungle looking for the elephant, who is already quietly at home. Nothing to do, nothing to force, nothing to want, and everything happens by itself. So have a lovely day, everyone. If you need to contact me with any questions, I think you've got my text number and my email, and I'm very, very happy to respond quickly. But can I wish you all a very nice day, and thank you so much for coming along. It's lovely to see so many people on a Monday morning, and loads of love to everyone. Bye.
Paul,
Okay.
bye.
Thank you, Paul.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
If we've got new people, you might like to leave a email in the chat, and then I can put you on the address list.
Good idea.
Thank you, Rosie.
Farewell.
Farewell.
Cheers.
Cheers everyone. Bye bye.